Welcome back to Newsviews. I'm Tanya Babich. Here now is Dina Rollman, Senior Vice President of Government and Regulatory Affairs for Green Thumb Industries, a Chicago-based cannabis company. Now we're talking about the retail experience, what customers will encounter at marijuana dispensaries. Welcome.
Hey, hi.
So what will it look like when somebody walks into a dispensary?
So they're going to walk in, and regardless of which dispensary they visit, the very first thing they'll be asked to do is show a valid ID to prove that they are over the age of 21. Once they've done that, then they're going to go through a sort of a secured door so that only people who are authorized to get in can get in. And then you walk into a waiting area. It's going to have, couches, chairs, educational materials, probably a menu of what are all the products that are being offered.
Well, what are the products that you offer?
Well, there's a wide variety of products now. A lot of people picture that, there's just one way to consume marijuana, and that's to smoke it. But things have evolved and changed a lot. So now there are really a large variety of what we call delivery methods and things to consume. So examples would be, a lot of people now have heard of a vape pen. So GTI, we make a branded line of vape pens called Rhythm. And so those can be, multi-use but ultimately disposable vape pens. Some people would prefer not to smoke or vape, so they can try edibles. Edibles could take the form of a chocolate bar. We make the Incredibles chocolate bar, which is, multi-serving chocolate bar.
I assume you have dosage information with that
exactly, exactly. And overall, the recommendation with edibles for anybody new to them is start low, go slow, meaning take a very small dose and give it some time. It can take anywhere from half an hour to 2 hours for an edible dose to, sort of kick in where you feel the effects. And so we don't want people to over-consume edibles. That sometimes is not a great experience. And there are also, what we call topicals. So, for instance, if you might be having back pain or joint pain, you might want to buy a patch, which is sort of time-released, or a lotion or a salve. If you are having trouble sleeping, we make a tincture called Feel Dreamy, and that would be something where you would just take a couple drops under your tongue. So really, when people come into the dispensary, they don't need to know all of that. You don't have to do homework beforehand. You can if you want to, but one of the things that's really emphasized with the staff working at dispensaries is they have that training and education, so that when you come in and it's natural, you're going to have a lot of questions. That's what they're there for, and it's going to be sort of personalized, customized attention and recommendations, so that you walk out feeling like the effects that you were looking for, you found a product that should help you achieve that.
The options sound a little overwhelming if you've never consumed it for medical reasons. Somebody coming in to consume recreationally, what kinds of questions will they be asked? What kind of questions should they be asking?
Really we talk about effects. It's really, a lot of times people are coming into a dispensary, and whether they're a medical card holding patient or, they're coming in as a recreational patient, there's still an effect that they're looking for, and a lot of times that can be pain relief. People have trouble sleeping. People have, rheumatoid arthritis or other types of joint pain. So, as long as you're comfortable sharing any details like that, we do recommend talking to the person, your customer care person, and talking about what is bringing you in. What types of effects are you looking for in terms of paying?
Numerically, though, price-wise, can you give me a range?
Yeah, I think you're going in from, $20 to $100,
okay.
Depending.
And then how to pay?
And how to pay. So most of the dispensaries are cash-based, and there are generally at most dispensaries an ATM on site. And that way you can come in and just take out the exact amount of money you need for that transaction. So we don't have customers entering our parking lots with a lot of cash on them, sort of decrease that security risk. And then there's also, thanks to technology, cashless systems that work sort of like a debit card, where you can use a debit card and through sort of an intermediary company transact. So there are cashless systems available.
Dina Rollman, it's a whole new world.
Yes, it is.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks.
That does it for Newsviews. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a happy new year. Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.